Okay, so let's learn how to do the external rotation retraction exercise. So this is a great corrective exercise for if you have poor posture, especially with your head and your neck. Typically that means you're tight in certain places, but you're especially weak in the muscles on the kind of the back side of your shoulder. We call those the external rotators, and then there's muscles like your rhomboids, which are kind of right between your shoulder blades that we're gonna work out with this, and we want to get back to working and get the strength in them that we want. So this is Riley. She's going to be my helpful assistant to show me, or to help me show this one, because it's a little bit hard for me to explain and show at the same time. So first things first. So in order to do this exercise, you're going to want to have a resistance band. You want to start with a light resistance. You don't necessarily have to have a band like Riley has. You can have like exercise tubing or something like that, but you just want something stretchy that's going to be able to provide you a little bit of resistance. So, and again, just start with the light resistance. So like you can see here, we're starting with the red color. That's usually a color for light resistance. So Riley, go ahead and hold that band in your palms. So palms are going to be facing up, and just like Riley's showing, her elbows are bent at about 90-degree angles, and the elbows are starting right up against her side, okay? Make sure you're standing nice and tall with good posture, just like Riley's showing us. And this exercise is two different parts, okay? The first part is something we call external rotation. That's just a fancy way of explaining a movement in which our hands are going to rotate away from the middle of our body, okay? So Riley, what you're going to do is the first part. So you're going to keep your elbows up against your side, and then while you're holding that band, you're just going to rotate your hands away from your middle of your body. Perfect. So that's the external rotation part. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have Riley face the opposite way. So turn around, keep going. There you go. Good. So the second part of this is something we call retraction. So retraction is when your shoulder blades pinch towards the middle of your back, okay? So go ahead and do the first part, the external rotation. So she's externally rotated. Now she's going to do retraction, and those shoulder blades are going to pinch together. Good. And then go ahead and come back. And then let's see that one more time. So go through the whole thing, externally rotate, elbows against the side, pinch the shoulder blades straight back, and then come back. Good. So go ahead and turn back around for us. So that's how you do the exercise. Pretty simple. You do like 2 sets of 10 to start if that works for you, okay? But there's a couple compensations that people do that are really common that you should watch out for, okay? Number one compensation that people do, I'm going to have Riley demonstrate for us. So go ahead and face it that way, Riley. So most people can get the external rotation part correctly, but then they like to start compensating with the retraction part. So go ahead and externally rotate. So most people get to here, and then when they retract their shoulder blades, they tend to let their head go forward. So go ahead and demonstrate that. So you see how Riley's head's kind of moving forward. She's losing postural integrity at the head and the neck. You don't want that to happen. So go ahead and come back to your starting position. Check in on your posture. Make sure you're nice and tall, kind of in that chin tuck position. And then go ahead and demonstrate that without that head moving forward. Good. So see how she's keeping that nice spine alignment, nice alignment with the neck and head. And then she comes back. So make sure you watch for that. Don't let your head dive forward as you're going, okay? Because that's a compensation. It's part of the reason why you're having poor posture. We want to try and correct that, okay? The next one that I'll have Riley demonstrate is a lot of people like to let their upper traps, so these big meaty muscles right on top of their shoulders, start to cheat for them and get involved in this exercise when we don't want that to happen. So go ahead and just keep facing forward, Riley. Get in that initial set position. Again, this compensation typically happens with people during the retraction phase. So go ahead and externally rotate. And then what you'll see is as she retracts, if she's doing that compensation, see how her shoulders kind of hike up towards her ears? That's those upper traps engaging. We don't want that to happen, okay? So go ahead and relax, come back. So now this time, make sure your shoulders are down and relaxed. And this is great to do while you're looking at yourself in the mirror, so you can kind of watch the level of your shoulders to see if they raise, and then go straight back without the shoulder raise. Good, perfect. And then back. So you can see how she just maintains that shoulder height the same throughout the exercise, rather than getting that hunched shoulder look, making her look like a football player, right? So you don't want that. So keep that in mind. No shoulder hunching, no head coming forward. About 2 sets of 10 of those. You should feel it more on like the back side of your shoulders when you externally rotate, and then right between your shoulder blades when you do the retraction. But that's how you do the external rotation retraction exercise.